Welcome to the Talkshow with Debby. Today, I'll be speaking on how to help people living with disability with education. We all know the meaning of education, and we all know that education has power. And we all know that education is vital. Yes. But recently I've been thinking and I've been watching that what is the main reason? What is one of the major reasons why people don't regard persons with disabilities? And I start thinking through and I got the answer that is part of it is education. Most people living with disability are not educated. Which is why they are not regarded in the society. Because they believe, most people believe that why should they educate people living with disability? When you educate people living with disability, you help them to bring out the potential they have in them. You help them to not to be a liability to the country. You help them to be able to stand on their own. Most people living with disability, they wish and want to go to school, but they don't have the means to go to school, which is why the government needs to create more awareness, needs to create accessibility for people living with disabilities, to have good education, to be able to be educated to any level they wish to be. Education helps you to get more knowledge. But let me say this: we can get knowledge for ourselves, but education helps you to know different aspects of life, like what is going on in the economy, what is going on in the world, what is going on within your reach. People living with disability do not have access to education, and it has caused most of them to be a liability in the country. When you don't educate the people, what do you expect them to do? They become a liability, they become dependent. Instead of them to be independent, they become dependent on other people. They resort into begging in the streets. That is why we have more beggars in the streets today. The government are not doing anything. The government should put more extra effort creating awareness, creating accessibility for people living with disability, which is why most people don't regard them. They see them as nothing. They see us as nobody. When you don't help people bring out the capability, the ability they have within them, they become a liability. Everyone is born with greatness. Everyone is born with potential. Everyone is born with the ability. But the problem is that we need to help each other to bring out the ability in us, so that the economy can move forward. When you believe that only normal people should be doing all things, all the work, the political aspect, the business aspect, while people living with disability should just stay aside. How do you expect that kind of country to move forward, and how do you expect that kind of economy to grow. It won't. But when people with disability, with normal people come together, working together, definitely the economy will grow. Definitely the economy will not be having recession every time. Look at what we are. We are in depression. Our economy is in depression. A lot of people are there, especially people living with disability, are out there on the street begging. Instead of them to be independent, they are dependent. The government should create accessibility for them to have the right education, to have the right skills. Even if some of them do not want to be educated, they should have skills to be able to establish a business for themselves. Not just to become a liability, but to help themselves and to also help the country to grow. The government must do all their possible but to put more effort, more extra effort in looking into this. I don't see most people disregard people living with disability, assuming the government has put more effort into this. It shouldn't be like that. But due to lack of the government not being concerned about people living with disability, has caused them to be a liability to the country and to people around them. Which is why the government must help people living with disability to get the right education, to be educated to any level they wish to be educated to. They should help parents who don't have the means to send their children to school. Help them with education, help them with the right skills. We expect person living with disability who is not educated to contest in any political aspect. No. People will not like to vote because they will think that what can he offer us? What can he or she offer? But they can offer a lot when we help them. They can offer a lot when we help them to bring out the potential, the capability, the ability they have. They have every capability within them. We should not look down on people living with disability. Instead, we should encourage them, assist them, to be able to bring out the ability they have in them. So for them to show the world the capability, their capability. I hope that the government can look into this. We also have the right to vote in any election. We also have the right to contest and be voted for in any political aspect. Everyone is equal before the law, and everyone is also equal before God. And which is why you must follow the law of God and the law of the Constitution. Do not discriminate people living with disability, and do not disregard them, because they also have every ability and potential within them to become whatever they want to be in life. Thank you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share to others so we can help to elevate this country. Thank you.